The Timberwolves just lost Game 3 to the Mavs and are now on the verge of being swept, so we gotta break this one down and take a look at what went wrong. But first, Wolves back.
Howl, beat up, gang, boy.
Alright, so getting right into the recap here, the Wolves got on the board first as Mike Conley cut backdoor and finished the layup, and then the Mavs just dissected the Wolves double team, finding PJ Washington in the corner to put the Mavs on the board. Mike Conley connected from 3 to put the Wolves up 2, and then Luka Doncic just right here in Mike Conley's face. It was just another night of incredibly difficult shot making from both Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Hand in the face, doesn't matter. Anthony Edwards drives baseline and gets the floater to go. Then again, off the curl, rises up for the jumper and gets it to go. Derek Lively dunks on Rudy Gobert and lets him know about it, putting the Mavs up 15-10. And then Luka finds him once again in the paint as he finishes. And look, for the most part, I thought the Wolves were doing a better job at protecting the paint and defending against the lob, even though Dallas did get a couple of them to go. Derek Lively was super active on both ends early in this one. And then Kyrie and Luka were just going right at the double team on multiple occasions. They weren't picking up their dribble. Instead, they were just trying to beat the double, get into the paint, and collapse the D. And that definitely worked because the Mavs shot 50% from 3 in this game, which is absolutely insane. They were 14 for 28 from 3. Meanwhile, the Wolves were just 9 for 30, which is 30%. That is not going to get it done. And look, give the Mavs credit. They were just making difficult shot after difficult shot. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving were both unstoppable tonight. It didn't matter if they had a hand in their face. It seemed like everything was going in. Some of it was schematic. They were really methodical in breaking down the Wolves defense, but there was a lot of times where Luka or Kyrie just made a tough shot with a hand in their face. Kyle Anderson got the strip here late in the first and gave it up to Ant, who put the Wolves within 6. It was 31-25 at this point. And then to close out the quarter, Nickeil Alexander-Walker hit this corner 3. So it was 33-28 going into the second, even though it felt like the Wolves were down by more than 10. Then to start the second, Josh Green hits this wide open 3 that put the Mavs up 7. Naz Reid gets into the paint and finishes. And then Kyrie Irving just going to work again, beating the double team. He waited for Cat to back off him and then just attacked him. This put the Mavs up 10. And then this play right here was a big moment in this game. Mike Conley missed the floater here, and Cat tried crashing the offensive board, and Derek Lively was stumbling to the ground at the same time that Cat was crashing, and Lively caught Cat's knee right to the head. Just a super bang play. Obviously not intentional by Cat, but Lively was down for a while and was stumbling around when he did get up. Definitely not a great sight to see. He did go into concussion protocol and was later ruled out with a neck sprain. So the Mavs were up 10 at this point. The Wolves did cut it to 5, but then a wide open Derek Jones 3 in the corner put the Mavs back up by 8. Then they got to lead up to 12 late in the second. Cat hit Gobert here, who finished the dunk. Then Kyrie comes off the screen in rhythm, 1 dribble pull up 3, put the Mavs up by 12 again. Cat drove to the bucket and finished with the left. This put the Wolves within 8. And then Luka Doncic, catch and shoot. He doesn't take a lot of catch and shoot threes, but knocks this one down right in the face of Jaden McDaniels. This put the Mavs up 11. Then getting into the second half here, the Wolves cut it down to 6. And then again, Kyrie to Luka, catch and shoot 3, money. Mavs go up by 9. Then Kyrie goes to work on Mike Conley, gets him on his hip, stops, pull up, gets the contact and 1. Ant attacks and gets the tough layup to go, putting the Wolves within 8. And then Luka breaks down the defense. Cat's in no man's land, and Luka flips up the lob for Daniel Gafford. Then this is ridiculous right here. Anthony Edwards drives into the lane, absolutely posterizes Daniel Gafford, and this energized the Wolves. You could just feel it, and particularly Anthony Edwards. So that dunk cut the lead to 4, and then really Ant went on his own mini 6-0 run and actually tied the game up at 77. And the Wolves were actually able to take a 2-point lead, 79-77. But then again, Kyrie, just difficult shot making, gets it to go, ties the game. The Mavs will go up by 4. Cat got the and 1 to go. The Wolves were down by 1. Then on the other end, Luka Doncic, stop, pop, gets it to go, 85-82. Naz Reid, top of the key, ties it up, 85 apiece. Then Hardy drives and gets the tough finish to go and tied the game up 87-all going into the fourth quarter. So again, the Wolves found themselves in a close game going into the fourth quarter. It was neck and neck for a lot of the fourth, really. Super competitive. And at the end of the day, it just once again came down to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Two guys who have been here before. They've both played on big stages. They have experience. They're both closers. Mike Conley got open on the wing and got the tray to go. This put the Wolves up 1. Nickeil Alexander-Walker misses the 3 here, and then this is just nasty. Kyrie on the other end pulls up right in his face, hits the 3, ties it up at 92-92. Then with the game tied, the Mavs rotate the ball around, get it to Luka. He goes to work on Cat. Step back 3, crazy arc, shoots it right over him, puts the Mavs up 3. Naz Reid curls into the paint and throws it down. Game's tied at 100 here. The Mavs turn it over, but then the next possession, Luka Doncic going to work on Naz Reid, gets the tough turnaround jumper to go, putting them up 2. So there's 6 minutes left at this point. Ant drives and gets the tough lefty finish over Gafford. And then right here, this is just probably the luckiest thing I've ever seen. Ant steps back, gets Luka to jump. He steps through, passes it cross court to Kyle Anderson, who catches it and shoots it in motion because the shot clock is expiring. He gets it to go. He's laughing about it as he goes back on the other end. 104-102 Wolves. Kyrie on the other end. Tough lefty finish over Anthony Edwards. Just nasty. Tie game, 104-104. And then right here, Anthony Edwards just falls asleep on the defensive end. He's late on the rotation. PJ Washington gets it wide open in the corner, splashes it. This put the Mavs up 3. And this is really when all hell broke loose. Naz Reid hit 1 free throw on the other end. Then Luka, again, bodies up Jaden McDaniels. Tough turnaround jumper. This put the Mavs up 4. Then Kyrie Irving, it's his turn to go to work. He works on Cat. Step back, baseline, cash, 111-105. This really felt like the dagger to me. Still a lot of time left, 1 minute to go, but Mike Conley drives. Gafford gets a piece of it, rejects it off the backboard. The Wolves can't handle the offensive rebound. Out of bounds, off of them, Mavs ball. Luka gets into the paint. This time puts Rudy in no man's land. He's got to play between Luka and Gafford. Luka throws up the lob. Gafford finishes it, and that would do it. So the Mavs get the win, 116-107. They go up 3-0 in the series. And look, we all know that no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit in the playoffs and gone on to win the series. Teams are 0-154 when facing an 0-3 deficit. So history tells us the series is probably over. And there's a lot of things to be frustrated about as a Wolves fan. Games 1 and 2 were right there. They were right in the grasp, and Luka and Kyrie put the game away. And again, it was the same thing. They had the closers. The Timberwolves couldn't close it out. It came down to late game execution. I mean, at one point late in the game, the Mavs went up 5, and it felt like they were up by 20 because Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. It didn't matter what kind of action they were running. If Luka or Kyrie had the ball in their hands, you just felt like they were gonna go get a bucket. And that's what they did. They closed this game out. Like I said earlier, most of these shots were contested. There's a hand in their face. They're just making extremely difficult shots. And dude, you just gotta tip your cap, shake their hand. It sucks, it hurts, it's a frustrating loss because there is things the Wolves could have done, especially on the offensive end. At the end of the day, these are 2 of the best offensive players the league has ever seen, doing what they do best in big moments. And look, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, and that elephant's name is Karl Anthony Towns. It's no secret that he struggled in this game. It's no secret that he's struggled this entire series. In game 1, he had 16 points. He shot 6 of 20 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3. Game 2, 15 points, 4 of 16 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. And then in this one, just 14 points, 5 of 18 from the field, 0 of 8 from 3. And according to Stat Mamba, Cat currently has the lowest 3-point percentage in a conference finals series in NBA history, shooting 13.6% from 3. And I believe that's with a minimum of 5 attempts or more. So literally historic levels of bad shooting from Karl Anthony Towns. And the frustrating thing is, it's not like this is a fluke. This dude is a repeat offender of disappearing in the playoffs. The one positive thing you could say about him is that at least he was being aggressive, but I'm going to steal some of Dane Moore's language that he used after the Game 2 loss. He was talking about Cat, talking about, yes, he's playing with higher energy, but the energy is not translating into production. There's a difference between energy and effective energy, and Cat's energy has not been effective at all in this series. It's been super chaotic, and he hasn't given his team anything. They're picking on him in the pick and rolls. He's getting picked on defense. He can't hit a shot on offense, and it's really frustrating when you consider that in games 1 and 2, the Wolves lost by a combined 4 points. If Cat just hits 1 or 2 more threes, the Wolves likely win both of those games, and we're looking at a 2-1 series instead of down 0-3 right now. And look, I know that Cat is not the only player that's having a tough series. Ant struggled in games 1 and 2. We all know that. And yes, I know what some of you are thinking. Cat did play phenomenally in game 7 against Denver. He bailed Ant out of a terrible shooting performance in that one, probably won the Wolves the game, and that's great. But this is the Western Conference Finals, and 3 games in a row, he's been absolutely nowhere to be found. I'm not saying these losses are completely on him, but he's your second best player on offense, at least he's supposed to be. And right now, he's your 8th best player on offense. To be honest, you're getting more efficiency and production out of Kyle Anderson. Naz Reid is clearly outplaying him, and Cat is your supermax player. You're supposed to be getting levels of production that Kyrie and Luka are giving the Mavs, but you're not getting anywhere close to that. You're getting less than 50% of that production value. You actually got a good Jaden McDaniels game on offense in this one. He finished with 15 points. He was 6 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. So it kind of feels like you squandered a good Jaden game because you never really know when those are going to come around. Rudy only played 29 minutes tonight. He was pretty much invisible out there. 9 points, 6 boards, 2 assists. Mike Conley was a team low, minus 18, but he's out there doing everything he can. He shot 6 of 11 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. You can't really ask much more than that from Mike Conley. And then Ant stayed true to his word that he was going to be more aggressive. He took 24 shots in this one. He only made 11 of them. He didn't hit a 3. He took 2 of them, 4 for 6 from the line. I wish he could have gotten to the line more, but he had 9 assists and 9 rebounds. He almost had a triple-double, finished with 26 points. He was really aggressive, and you just needed anything, literally anything from Cat in this one, and it probably would have got the job done. So as a team, the Wolves shot 9 of 30 from 3, 30%. They only got to the line 17 times. They made 12 of them, so 70% from the line. Meanwhile, the Mavs shot 50% from 3, 14 of 28. And some of them were good looks. PJ Washington had 2 open corner threes. Josh Green had an open 3, Derek Jones had an open 3, I get that, but a lot of them were super tough, contested shots like I said. And then the Mavs shot 31 free throws, 26 of 31 from the line. Make of that whatever you will, but I think it's abundantly clear at this point that the Mavs are simply the better team. They have the 2 best players in this series. It's not even close. Anthony Edwards is a phenomenal player, but unfortunately, he hit a wall in games 1 and 2, couldn't get over the hump. And look, it's to be expected. He's 22 years old. I'm not knocking him. He has a ton of room to grow. And I think that's the main difference between Ant and Cat. Cat is in his 9th NBA season. He's a vet at this point. You should be able to rely on him in big moments. And time again, he just comes up short. He's missing open shots. He's making bad decisions. It's that term, stray voltage. It's just this chaotic energy out there on the court. It's not productive. And to be honest, I don't know where you go from here with him. I don't want to overreact. I know this is coming off the heels of a bad loss. You're down 0-3, probably getting bounced in the playoffs. I don't want to overreact, but of course, everyone's going to be talking about, what do you do with Cat? Do you trade him? Do you stick with him next year? I don't know, and that's probably not an appropriate discussion for right now. We'll definitely be talking more about that in the offseason, which really isn't too far away at this point. But for right now, yeah, this loss sucks. It hurts. You're staring down the barrel of your season being over. It's been a fantastic season, but right now, this loss hurts. At bare minimum, gotta win game 4 just for pride's sake, just to avoid the sweep. Can you go on the road and win game 4 with your backs against the wall, facing elimination, then go back to Target Center? Just take it one game at a time. That's really all you can do at this point. There's nothing else you can do. Take it one game at a time. They play on Tuesday. You got a short turnaround, 1 day off. Let's make it happen. Why not? So, Wolves fans, you can use my comment section as a therapy session. Let it all out. Let me know how you guys are feeling after this game 3 loss. I'm sure there's going to be some Mavs trolls in there. You're all welcome. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys after game 4. Win, lose, or draw a picture of Cat actually making a 3 just so we can see what it looks like. Until then, Wolves back.